The Haunting of Maple Street. Many years ago, in a quiet town nestled between rolling hills, there stood an old abandoned house on Maple Street. The house had been empty for as long as anyone could remember, and people avoided it, whispering rumors about strange noises and eerie lights that flickered from the windows at night. One cold evening, a curious young man named Peter decided to investigate the house. He had heard the rumors, but he was determined to uncover the truth. Armed with a flashlight and a sense of adventure, Peter made his way through the overgrown path that led to the front door. As he stepped inside, the air grew cold and thick with dust. The house smelled musty, as if it had been forgotten by time itself. He walked cautiously through the dimly lit rooms, the wooden floor creaking beneath his feet. But it wasn't the house's old age that unsettled him. It was the feeling that something was watching him. Suddenly, he heard a faint whisper. It was soft at first, but as it grew louder, he realized it was a voice calling his name. Peter! Peter! Peter turned around, but there was no one in sight. His heart raced and the hair on the back of his neck stood up. He quickly walked toward the staircase, convinced that he had heard something in the attic. As he climbed the stairs, the temperature seemed to drop even further. When he reached the attic, he found an old wooden chest covered in cobwebs. Intrigued, he opened it and found an old, faded diary. The pages were yellowed with age, but one entry stood out. It was written by a woman named Eliza, the house's last resident. The diary described strange happenings, voices, shadows, and unexplained events that made her fear for her life. In the final entry, Eliza wrote that she had seen a figure, a ghostly apparition, standing at the foot of her bed every night. She believed it was the spirit of her late husband, who had died under mysterious circumstances. The last line of the diary read, "The ghost is not my husband, it is something far worse." Peter was about to leave when he felt a cold hand grip his shoulder. Spinning around, he found himself face to face with a pale, translucent figure. A woman dressed in old-fashioned clothes. Her eyes were hollow and her mouth twisted into a grotesque grin. Frozen in terror, Peter couldn't move. The ghost whispered, "You shouldn't have come here." With a final scream, Peter broke free and ran down the stairs. But as he reached the front door, it slammed shut. He was trapped inside. The house groaned as if alive, and the whispering voices grew louder. By dawn, the house fell silent again. The next day, Peter's body was found in the attic, his face frozen in terror. No one ever saw him alive again, and the house on Maple Street was left to continue its haunting legacy. This is a short ghost story that blends suspense, mystery, and supernatural horror. Let me know if you'd like any changes.